battle going on there. That is car number 8, which is Christopher Nygaard. We saw him earlier in the GT3 race this afternoon, and he's having quite a battle at the moment with one of the Mad Croc Racing Corvettes. And there's Nicola Armindo, so he's just made a pass actually as Nygaard.
Yeah, I think that Aston Martin is actually the quickest car on the track as we speak. So he started quite a long way down. I think he was right at the back of the grid. So he's actually fought up very, very well, and he's obviously the speed, that experience he had from that earlier race is paying dividends.
It's amazing. Yeah, Stefan Rooker started that car, as you said, at the back of the pack, and it's Christopher Nygaard at the wheel now, 24-year-old Dane from Kongens-Lyngby. I guess it's just about an hour or so out. Yeah, thank you. It's about an hour or so outside of Copenhagen, I believe. He's a young driver with relatively little experience, certainly in these GT1 cars. He's only had a couple of starts in these cars before this season, but judging by the way he's driving right now, you wouldn't know it.
No, absolutely. His pace, as I said, has been very, very good. Well, we've only got, 3 minutes to go. We're in board here with Michael Bartels. This is the club section. We got the gears, that sort of red. There you go, 3 as he puts his hand and pulls that gear stick. 4, and then there'll be 5 just as he goes into the Abbey curve, and he does 1 gear change down, and then it'll probably be a short gear shift about. So he should be shifting anyway to right surprise, and then all the way through. Oh, there you go. And this is the tight arena area. Very good opportunity to overtake on that first one. This left-hander is the slowest part of the circuit, 75 kilometers an hour, accelerating through little kink onto that straight, Wellington straight, and now he's going to overtake the pullback. Easily done.
Action there, and then down to the inside. Xavier, as Nicola Armindo gives up the place there to Michael Bartels, so he finally jumped outboard the car, and then he makes the pass. But that's a great battle, and right behind him too is Maxime Martin, the Belgian driver, at the wheel of that Mark BDS Racing Ford GT.
A beautiful car, and actually they've done very well as well. They were on row 8 at the start of this race as well. So this is the first time, a bit of contact there, an optimistic move. As I said, it's very difficult to overtake a car there because you're going so fast, and if you're not side by side, this is the instance that you're going to see.
We've only seen one successful overtaking opportunity, I think, there all weekend long, and that was Jamie Campbell-Walter.
You see him pull out very, very late, and he's just not really there. You see, he clips the back of his car, so he's nowhere near. He hasn't got any damage on his car. A little bit of rubber on that nose of that full GT, but that number 11 Corvette, unfortunately, is doing the long way around, but not his fault, because I don't think that full GT should have stuck his nose where he did at that point.
I think I'm talking to there, I think, for the full GT driver Maxime Martin. A good effort there, I think, by Nicola Armindo, who he has no experience in GT cars prior to this weekend. He's a Porsche Cup driver in the past. He does a great job of getting it through that gravel trap and getting it turned around. There's a little bit of a short grass strip the other side of the gravel, and then you can maybe get around and rejoin the race without hitting anything too hard.
No, absolutely, because that speed of that corner is about 170 odd kilometers an hour, so it's a pretty quick corner.
There we're looking there at Bert Longin, who's made up a lot of ground. He's still in 5th place now, but right ahead of him, that Lamborghini of Frank Ketchner. And as this race has worn on, I think the Lamborghini is using up its tyres. I think he's struggling a little bit now for grip in the corners. Yeah, you can see that Bert Longin really makes a lot of ground going into Brooklands. Yeah,
well, this is where those tyres will make a big difference, because it's such a slow technical part of the track, and you need those tyres to give you traction to come out. But he's definitely struggling a little bit, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're on the final lap of the race, so they will start for the final lap. The race leader, who is Thomas Enger, is part way around the final lap, but this battle rages on for 4th and 5th place. Useful championship points, of course. You get to 12 points for 4th place, 10 points for 5th, and at the end of the season, every point counts. This battle rages, they're coming through the Beckett's complex, and it's important to score as many points as you can, as often as you can, isn't it? It's crucial.
It definitely is, and the number 8 Aston Martin that started at the very back of the grid, he's just done his personal best over 2 minutes and 8, and he's up to 7th.
Yeah, might be up to 6th now. He's challenging here. He is on the outside coming down into Stowe corner. Christopher Nygaard, a brilliant drive by he and Stefan Muka. Yeah, the Aston Martins are strong this weekend, but great driving by those two to come from the back. Well, right up into comfortably inside the top 10.
Yeah, and he's got a chance here. You never know, because this Lamborghini is holding up the 34 Maserati. He might just go on the back of him as they go into that last section of Brooklyn and Luffield. And here is the leader, Thomas Enger.
Going down into Brooklands for the final time. Thomas Enger, he's taken over the car from Darren Turner. The local driver lives just a few miles away from here, from Silverstone. Thomas Enger, who's done a lot of racing here in the past. You can see how delighted the car. Thomas, he's always a showman, is Thomas Enger. He puts the power down coming out of Luffield, and across the line he goes to take the checkered flag. A wonderful performance by Aston Martin, the young driver AMR team, and Darren Turner, the homeboy, and Thomas Enger come away with a magnificent victory. In second place will be the second of the Aston Martins, the Hexis AMR team of Thomas Ackery and Frederick Makowicki. And here is this battle still going on behind.
And he may get one more position on his line. The last corner, he nearly made it around Brooklyn. He's right behind the Maserati. He's not going to quite work there, but great drive.
Excellent performance. It's Jamie Campbell-Walter and Warren Hughes, a magnificent third place finish for the two British drivers in the British Sumo Power GT Nissan, making its second start in the championship here in proper race spec. Frank Ketchley in the Lamborghini just holds on in fourth place. The Maserati of Bert Longin in fifth, and Christopher Nygaard from the back of the grid to sixth place in the second of the young driver AMR Aston Martins. Magnificent performance. Alfred Hager, I know he's going to be delighted with a seventh place finish. Michael Bartels and Andrea Bertolini in the three-time championship winning Vitaphone Maserati. They have to be content with an 8th place. Maxime Martin Bas-Landis, 9th for Ford, the Mark VDS racing team. And then the best of the Swiss racing Nissans, that is Seiji Ara and Max Nilsson, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, I think that was a great drive from everybody. We had a lot of guys that started a long way back, especially that number 8 Aston Martin finishing in its 6th position. Brilliant race from them. It was great to see the GT40 finally seeing that get itself into the top 10. So I think overall Aston Martin, they've had a wonderful weekend.
And so has Nissan too. I mean, hats off to those guys. This is just the second race. There is Jamie Campbell-Walter there, right behind Thomas Enger, waving to the crowd. And Jamie, so that was a great performance by him. I mean, they don't have a lot of seat time in those cars, a brand new team. They did manage to get several days of testing before the first round in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago, but still, it's a team that's still learning the ropes here in GT1 racing, and to come away with a podium finish in just their second championship race is an exceptional effort, which I know they will be justly proud.
Yeah, when then Thomas is doing it, I'll do a donut.
You're allowed to do donuts in FIA areas.
I'm not quite sure, probably not.
But anyhow, he's drifted. Super job. I mean, he is a showman. He's a great driver. He was a single-seater star back in the late 90s, but since then he's made his career in sports car and GT racing. And this, I think, Thomas will rank among his better victories. He has actually never won a GT1 race in the past, at least not in this championship. He's won them in the Le Mans Sports Car Series, but not in the GT1 championship. And this was certainly an excellent performance. I mean, Darren Turner set the scene. They both made mistakes yesterday. Today, no, they weren't going to make those mistakes again, Johnny, were they?
No, I know. I'm glad to say they did learn from their mistakes from yesterday. But these two, there he is, still showboating, little show. Ah, there you go. See, he crossed the line. There you go. He's off.
He's not going to pen. That's exactly what he did yesterday.
Exactly. That was an interesting shot, because that's exactly what you're not supposed to do during the race, because you have those lines. You've got to stay within those lines. But going back, they are Darren and Thomas. I think they are the strongest package in this championship at the moment, and of course the Aston Martin is going very well for them as well, and they utilised it and they won today.
Darren Turner, a former winner of the McLaren Autosport BRDC award, it's awarded here at Silverstone, and to two British teams here on the podium for the Aston Martins and Sumo Power GT. So a great, I think, race for the home